when you can worship. Then the Bible said, let your heart be troubled. Don't let your heart be troubled. Trust only in God. Because he's already aware, preparing your mansion. So it is done. It is finished. God said that, and the word, but let your heart not be troubled, and that's a promise. God does not make empty promises. Everything he says, count on it, saints. It is not just out here, just going out from one ear to the other. Like some people say to you, oh, okay, I'll call you. We go do lunch or we do a movie. And you sit there. And dare you not call them because they're too busy. But they said it out of their mouths. People say things out of their mouths that they do not mean. God is not like that. Don't you ever think God and us are the same. He promises something, and that's what he means. That's what he means. That's what he means. The Bible said it is finished. John 19:30 said, it is finished. It is finished. It is finished. Everything, every trial, every heartache, every concern, every worry, every problem, every challenge was nailed to that cross. It is finished. Church, it is finished. Get in your heart. Nothing to be worried over. God has it here in the palm of his hand. It is finished. Believe it. Get it in your hearts. God took care of everything. It's nailed to that cross. Why are we worried? It is finished. It is finished. The word said, be anxious for nothing, but in prayer and supplications, let your desires be made known unto God. And he will take everything into consideration. Now, here is this, church. We don't know what the future holds, but we know who holds the future. Can I get an amen? We know who holds the future. We're on first name basis with town. With the old time movie show, Clint Eastwood coming in, Clint Eastwood coming in with his guns and everybody's running because the big bad shooter is in town. Well, that's God. We got the big bad shooter with all the bazookas and everything else in his in his arsenal. God don't play. Everything is in control. Now, are you going to God with things that concerns you? Are you going to God with things that concerns you? We know that life has challenges, but believe me, saints of God, God knows that too. Some of the challenges we have is because we have encouraged it in our hearts. So that's the next thing we need to do. Examine our hearts. What are we encouraging in our hearts? It's not what's outside of a man that condemns, it's what comes out from in here. Self-examination as to what's going on in here. Some of the challenges God allows us to go through is one, to make us grow, and the other to make us go. We have to grow and we have to go. He has to direct and steer our path. Worry is a tool used by the enemy to keep the saints of God bogged down with useless emotions. I'll read it again. Worry is a tool used by the enemy to keep the saints bogged down with useless emotions. Because when we are busy worrying, we are not worshiping. You understand now the tool that the devil uses? If you have you so bogged down worrying over little things that has no eternal value, when we get to heaven, the shoes that squeeze your feet that you have to take back to the store ain't gonna bother. You know what I mean? It's not gonna matter to anybody. The suit that the cleaner made all wrinkles in and lost one of your buttons that you had to go up there and show off and like $1,000, which you know ain't true, for this suit, and you all tore up my button, and it is, now, when you get to heaven, is that important? We get so bogged down with stuff that ain't got nothing, no eternal value. So think about that. Are you hearing me well? There are things that we get bogged down with no eternal value. So when we are busy with stuff, we are losing sight of what's important. To worship God. Worship God.